Hey folks, this is Vincent Adderley with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to try Awkward Guests. This game supports 1 to 8 players, it's for ages 12 and up, and the average playtime is 45 to 75 minutes. This will be our first time playing the game, so you might get a rule wrong or two, but as I always say, we are here to spread awareness and have fun while doing it. And there are multiple ways that you can actually play this game. You can play solo, you'll need an app in order to do that. You can play a 2-player variant, which is competitive, or you can play just regular player count, 3 to 8, whatever, and that's the standard game. So depending on how you play, the rules will slightly change. Today, Idly and I will learn the game by teaming up together to tackle the solo mode, and like I said, you will need an app in order to do that. The download is free. You just need the Awkward Guests app. You can play a predetermined scenario, which is found in the back of the rulebook, or you can just click on Load Random Case. So the rulebook itself has, and I'll go ahead and show you that real quick, assuming I can find it. There we go. Left it over there. So here's the rulebook, and it's roughly 18 pages long, but a lot of that is like, this is case stuff. That these are predetermined cases that you can set up on your own, or like I said, you can pick a case through the app here. So there is a lot of replayability in this game. So what comes in the box? Well, here's a quick look at the box. You've got a bunch of cards. There's 243 of them, which is crazy. And you're not going to use all of them in a single game. Whenever you pick a case, the game, whether it be in the rulebook or whatever, it will tell you which card numbers to use for that case. And then you're going to shuffle up the deck, and that will be your deck for that game. Players will use those cards to figure out whodunit. This is a murder mystery game similar to that of Clue. In the app, at least in single player, it'll simply tell us which cards to pull from the stack or from the box. So we'll be pulling from here as needed, and you can actually see they're arranged 1 to 50, and then 52 or 51 to 100, and so on. The cards are numbered in the upper left-hand corner. The other components, you've got like a first player token here. You've got some bid tokens here. I use the word bid loosely. You're simply telling other players how much value your cards are when you offer something, but I know that means nothing to you folks right now. So there are other components that we probably won't even see this game because we are playing the solo/co-op mode. And again, this is supposed to be solo, but in theory, anyone can team up and work on these solo cases together. You also have these shields. Each player will get one of these in a typical game, but in the solo game, we're not going to worry about that. Again, we'll be working together. But this is how you hide your player mat, and it does contain some information about the crime scene. Like, this is just the standard map for the game, and you're going to see the different suspects that are here. There are some tips and other good things on the right side and on the left side, and we'll be referring to this as needed for various things. But primarily, we won't need to use that for a single player game. As far as what we're looking at here, this is the crux of the game. There are 6 suspects, always. Angelica, Berwick sisters, they count as 2 people, but they move as 1. So I was reading in the rulebook that when another card references, like there were 2 people in this room or whatever, it could be that both of them were the Berwick sisters. Oh. I was reading, those are little things that I was reading in the rulebook before we got here. So there's Claudette, Greg, Mortimer, and Stanley. And using the cards for that scenario, we'll be trying to figure out what their motives are. And if all 3 of these little motives over here are checked off, then we found their motive. But a person with a motive isn't always the murderer. It just simply means they had a motive, but it doesn't mean they actually killed them or had the opportunity to. The killer, the crime scene is always here in the study, and Mr. Walton is the victim. And the different scenarios, you have to figure out where these 6 suspects started in the house. The white rooms indicate where they can claim to be. And the killer, the murderer, will be finding a path from where they started through the various rooms to the study in order to kill Mr. Walton, and they will pick up a weapon along the way. So it's up to us to use cards to figure out which one of these people had a motive and which one of these people were able or seen going to the study, and also if the weapon was available. There's a bunch of weapons down here. Unlike in Clue where there's like, 6 weapons or something like that, these weapons down here, there's blunt weapons, firearms, bladed, poison, suffocating, and there's also other symbols that represent other things, like one of them's like gunpowder or something like that. I think there's down here in the bottom left. So you see traces of dark powder, burn marks is the little squiggly, strong odors, traces of dirt. So when the game tells us that traces of dirt cannot be it or the weapon, then you're going to cross off all of these particular things. So again, we have not played this yet. I'll be really curious to see. Our goal, at least in single player, is we are given so many points. And by requesting cards, we spend those points. The value of the card, the higher value cards that we ask for, more information, the more points we spend. And we have to put things together before we run out of points. We have to figure out who, why, and how. That's in the first 3 difficulties. Past easy, there is an accomplice. Possibly. No or yes. An accomplice did not commit the murder, but they will cover for the murderer. And there are some extra rules associated with that. So in like medium plus, you'll sometimes have an accomplice. So there might 2 of these 6 people. One of them will be the murderer, one of them will be the accomplice, or there may not be an accomplice, but there will always be a murderer.
Can the Berwick sisters say that they were accomplices?
I don't know. I think both have to be the murderer. Yeah, both have to. It's another interesting tidbit about some of the behavior of the murderer. Like, if the murderer, if there are 2 people in the room, if one is the murderer, then the other one has to be the accomplice.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
It says it right here.
Oh, on the bottom left? Okay. Or if one is innocent, then the other one is definitely innocent.
Right there.
Yeah, if a suspect claims to have been with another suspect at the time of the murder and vice versa, neither of them is the murderer or they are the murderer and the accomplice.
And then it has like even more detailed
information over here.
Gosh, it's so useful though.
Yeah, I'm gonna rely on you for a lot of that because
I'll be the one with the
you'll be the one with that, and only that, but between the camera and trying to cross things off, and I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, it's okay.
But the accomplice, like I said, has special rules about what they do, how they act. But we're not going to worry about that for our first game. We're going to play on easy together.
Not beginner, but easy?
Easy, yes. Okay. So we're not there's 3 difficulties before medium.
Yeah.
And easy, I think, is the one right before medium.
Yes.
Beginner is probably going to be too easy.
I'm hoping, I've been seeing a lot of this lately, and I'm hoping I enjoy it. I'm a little nervous because this layout never changes. Like, this doesn't change, the suspects don't change, their motives don't change. So I'm a little wary of that, but the fact that there's so many decks.
The fact that, in the rule book alone,
it's crazy.
There's... Oh, okay, so this page, this page, and I think solutions are there, so don't read those. So, that alone in the rule book, and then there's load random case. I don't know how many there are. But
you can make your own case too.
Probably. There is also a load case by ID button, so you can actually type in the case number if you want to replay it, that kind of thing. Okay. So load random case, solitary. I think that's what we're gonna do. In settings menu, real quick, this is the settings menu here. So we'll go back and we'll hit solitary. All right, choose difficulty. There's beginner, very easy. I guess I have to scroll down. There's beginner, very easy, easy, medium, hard, very hard, perfect crime. So we're going to go with easy, I think. for our first game. See if we do any good. Generate a never played case. Well, we've never played one, so we'll hit continue. All right. So it says here, solve the case before you run out of points. In each round, choose 2 different references and spend the points you want to obtain cards. Choose well to avoid getting duplicate cards. Let's begin the first round of the investigation. So in the typical game, between either 2 players or 2 players plus, players will have hands of cards, and on their turn, they will ask the group or the other player, if it's 2 players, I want to learn more about either a person or a room. And in a 3+ player game, you're going to ask for 2 bits of information. So you could ask about 2 people, you could ask about 2 rooms, or you can ask for a combination of the 2 things. If you're playing 2 players, the rules are slightly different. You can ask up to 4 things. You're going to ask for maybe 2 and 2, or all 4, or 4 people, or 3 and 1. You can do that in a 2-player game. In the solitary game, we are going to be asking for 2 things, and the computer will offer us some different choices, and we have to pick what we want. And in the actual game, players will offer us, say, I will give you 4 points worth of cards. Not to spoil anything, but in the top left of these cards that give information is a point value. So if you offer this card to an opponent, plus some other cards, you can tell them, I will give you 2 plus whatever it was points of information in exchange for the same information.
How are you supposed to determine how many points? Like, anyone can say, I'll give you 2 cards worth 20 points. You know, like, give me 20 points or something.
No, it says it on the top. Yeah. So people. So let's say I ask you for Claudette and Greg. In your hand, you've got, say, 5 cards that pertain to Claudette and Greg, but you only want to give me 2 of them. You're going to then add up the point values of the ones you want to give me and say it's 5. Then you tell me, I'm going to give you 5, and then I'm going to compare that 5 with everyone else's offers. And then I'm going to choose who I want, take those cards, and then I give you back 5 points worth of cards at random.
In a 2-player game, can you give them a choice? Like let's say you have 3 cards that pertain to these 2 guys, and your opponent wants information with these 2 guys. Can I just choose to say, well, okay, I have 1 card.
Yes, you can
1
choose.
Point.
You don't have to give me everything you know. Just what you want to offer.
Just what you want to offer.
However, if I choose to reject that offer, or I believe I read it in the rulebook, if I reject that offer, then I take 2 cards, whatever, from the deck.
Interesting.
As compensation for the fact that I'm not getting any information. And that's how you discourage. It's possible that whenever you when you take cards from someone, you have to give cards back. If you keep giving cards back that they've given you, they're going to get mad at you because they already know this information.
Yes.
They're going to be less likely to trade with you in the future or offer you good. So there is a reason to throw players a bone from time to time.
But there's a discard option, isn't there? I was reading that.
In a 2-player game, instead of players keeping the cards that they swap, they look at their cards, they note their thing, and then all of it goes into the discard pile. To prevent the same cards from being passed back and forth.
Interesting. I wouldn't mind playing the 2-player with you eventually.
We will. Yeah. Once we learn the game via single player.
Yeah, this will be fine.
All right. So, sorry for the side track. Hopefully that was... Yes, intermission. We'll go with that. The back of the rulebook, by the way, has this chart as well. Using arrow tokens that are in the box, you can point to who you're interested in. That way you don't have to keep repeating yourself.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, if you say Greg Investable, and people are like, what did you say? Oh, Greg Invest. Instead of, you can look at the arrows pointing to what you want, and they will, for people with bad memories.
It'd be like a silent game.
It could be. All right, so understood. Here you have 6 cards to start solving the case. So this is the case number in the upper left-hand corner, 096191P. So for anyone at home that has this game or gets it and wants to follow this case, you can load that case up manually and then you can follow along. So I have to pull these out of the box now.
Cool.
So 28 is the first card. That's 1. 97 is... What's going to be a pain is putting all of these back after the fact in order.
I can do it.
97.
You want to give me like a pile that we can help you out?
Am I going too slow?
Possibly.
Wow. 156. 188. People can fast forward if they so choose. 192. And 233.
Okay.
And they're in reverse order for some reason, 233. Okay, so the game already gives us some information.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little on... I'm going to try and focus in on this as much as possible. And from time to time, I will zoom out so we can look at the other cards as we get them. But let's take one card at a time and see what we get. So this is kitchen. The frying pan was not the murder weapon. So what we can do is from here...
Can I have my own little sheet of paper just because I can't see?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, here. I'll give you a pen as well.
All right.
This is planning.
Sorry. We're so good at this. I was actually talking about one of these, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to waste 2 pieces of paper, but...
There's so many!
I didn't want to waste it.
Wow. Fine.
So, yes. So, just so you know, folks, I'm that stingy.
Yes, he really is. So that's a no?
Chances are, well, if you want one, go ahead.
Thank you.
My God. Well, you need to write on something anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want a notebook instead of that, or is that good?
No, this is fine. This is
All right, fine.
I'm...
So, you can cross off the frying pan.
Okay.
That was the first bit of evidence there. So, on the bottom here...
In the kitchen.
Frying pan. So I'm going to cross that off.
Yeah.
And it's in the kitchen, so I can cross off the word frying pan there. So frying pan is crossed off. Also down here I crossed this off under blunt weapons.
Yeah.
So that was the first piece of evidence that we have. The next one refers to Stanley Smith. Yeah. Stanley Smith claims that he was alone at the time of the murder. Now, that doesn't really help us too much right now, but I will just simply write claims alone.
Interesting. I know who it is.
It's always the person claiming to be alone. Right.
With a frying pan.
Right. In reference to the Berwick sisters, the Berwick sisters claim that they were alone at the time of the murder. So they also claim...
Well, that's very true because we're playing on easy difficulty because easy difficulty can never have an accomplice.
Correct. Mm-hmm. But what if the staff catches them with someone else? It's possible the staff may report that they were actually with someone else.
That's true. So what is
they were lying.
So what is this guest number?
Guests, based on what I read in the rulebook, that is the kitchen staff telling you how many people they saw in that room.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
The kitchen staff, by the way, can never lie.
Yes.
Or the staff in this mansion will never lie. Mm-hmm. So you always will have a liar probably here. One out of these 6 people are lying, but the staff that comes up in these cards will always tell the truth.
Okay.
And that's what that guests box is for.
Okay.
Because that's like a definitive number. We know that for sure.
Okay.
Referring to the billiard room, the cue was not the murder weapon. So the billiard room is here. Mm-hmm. So the cue is not the murder weapon. That's also a blunt weapon. So I'm just going to cross that off. Oh, so I guess I could just X and X. It's just easier.
Fine.
Okay. And...
I'm so messy already.
Good job. Referring to Claudette, the police report states that Claudette's motive, fatal rejection, was not the crime motive. So we have to look at Claudette and fatal rejection. There are 3 different types of motives. So fatal rejection was not the crime. So we can X that out. It's still possible she committed the murder and this top one or this bottom one was her motive, but we know that the middle one is definitely not. If all 3 X's are present, then they are innocent.
Now here's a question. Because it's not her motive, does that mean that these other 3 are crossed out as well?
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to worry about that for right now.
Okay.
But yes, it's implied that this is not a thing.
Okay.
Someone else may report that, like, the subcategory was not, if that makes any sense.
Like, if someone said her subcategory was this, that would mean that they were lying. Is that what it is?
I'm not sure. No, it's possible for other people to think that that was their motive, but it's possible for an innocent person to say that about someone else and it not be true.
Okay.
At least that's how I got it. So fatal rejection, long story short.
Okay.
Not it.
Okay.
This is in reference to the vestibule and billiard room. The service staff reports that none of the guests entered the vestibule from the billiard room and vice versa. So there are arrows from the vestibule to the billiard room. So there's arrows here. I'm going to put an X right on top of that to indicate that no one could have gone from here to here and vice versa. And that's per the service staff. So they are always telling the truth.
Yep.
Okay. So ideally, we've been through all 6 cards.
Wow.
What we could do is start organizing them by type or by location. Like this is the sisters. So maybe organize them by people and then maybe... And again, this is like off camera, so you guys really can't see that.
Yeah.
We may have to zoom out like this every now and again to show you what we're doing, but we're trying to organize these in such a way that we can see the values of these cards later as we need to. Mm-hmm. All right, so with that said, next. All right, what references do you want to ask about? So what would you like to know about? And we can pick rooms and or people. Okay. And up to 2. So I have to use the app here to scroll, I think. Yeah, bedroom. Yeah, so it's either names or... what do you want to do?
Interesting.
What would you like to learn about?
I would probably like to learn...
There's not a whole lot of information right now.
I mean... Probably either Mortimer or Angelica.
We can do both.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. So I'm going to scroll from B to M. There's... Oh, not it. So it organizes by room and then person. Mortimer is one of the people. Mm-hmm. And who else? Angelica?
Angelica.
All right. So I scrolled to both of those answers.
Okay.
And I hit next. And now it's going to offer us a choice. Do we want 3 cards worth, which is 5 points? So the 3 cards that we receive have a point value on them, adding up to 5. So out of the 3 cards, one of them might be a 1, another might be a 1, and the other one a 3. Or it could be 2, 2, 1. It's a combination of cards of 3 adding up to 5 points.
Yeah.
Same thing here. 2 cards worth 6 points total. So it could be 3. I think it goes up to 3. So this is 2 3-point cards. But that's 6 points. And we have 50 points to spend before the end of the game.
We have nothing on Angelica and Mortimer. So I would say we should get as many cards as possible right now for the first
All right. So, well, points is another thing. 3 cards worth 5. 3 cards worth 8. Or 2 cards worth 6, or 1 random card worth 1. Do we want 3 cards worth 5 and get slightly less information? Or how do you want to do this?
Start off strong.
You want 8 points?
Yeah, I would. We have a lot of points right now. Why not?
50. That's it.
Well, no, it's up to you. It's whatever you want.
We'll go your approach. 8 points. Let's burn everything. 187, 194, and 204. So now I have to go back to the box and hope. Now it's possible that they will give us repeats of cards we already know about.
Better not.
Luckily, these are all 1-point cards up here. Mm-hmm. So the chances of us getting a repeat here are slim.
That's why I'm saying.
Yes, that's why you're saying. Is 187 taken? No, there's 187. Mm-hmm. We're looking for 194. And we're looking for 204. Luckily, no overlap. So that's good. So we will look at these one at a time. All right, the first one, it's a 3-point card. In reference to Angelica, Claudette, and Mortimer, the police shows that among the possible motives, none were of type passion. So...
None of the hearts.
Yes, so none with the...
and that's for Angelica.
So, yeah, Angelica has, so extreme principles is a heart.
Yep. Claudette, we already knew.
Claudette, we already knew Fatal Rejection, so that was duplicate. And then Mortimer has this Broken Dreams heart thing over here. Okay, so anything with any of these three with the heart symbol, which they have, it's not it. Okay, next card. Supporting evidence regarding Mortimer, motive Broken Dreams was discovered. So, okay, so this magnifying glass on Mortimer. So under Broken Dreams...
Wait a second.
I know, but it's not it. We were giving information about a possible, okay. But it's useless information. That 2 points is useless.
Oh, I see.
And then lastly, referring to Angelica, Berwick sisters, and Stanley, the police report shows that among the possible motives, none were of type financial. Ah. So that's the money symbol. Angelica. So Angelica does not have a sinister plans. Berwick sisters does not have excessive ambition. And Stanley does not have macabre bet.
Macabre?
Macabre.
I don't know.
But that was our 9 points that we and we could solve it. Now, in the 2+ player game, if you try to solve it with just this, you have to look up the solution. And if you get it wrong, you're out. However, with the app, if you get it wrong, you just simply are unable to guess the next turn. The app will not tell you what the solution is, which is nice. Okay. So if you're playing on the app with more than one player, you're not eliminated immediately. Okay. The app will just simply say you're wrong. Cool.
I would say...
Little tidbit. So right. Next.
Oh, I was going to guess.
No. In the single player game, I'm pretty sure that would ruin us.
I know.
All right, so what do we want to learn about this time?
Let's see.
We don't have any information on Greg yet.
Yeah, nor any of the rooms. You can choose this time. I chose. So.
Well, we don't have a whole lot of information about a whole lot of different things.
Although Angelica is starting to be sort of innocent.
Kind of, unless she's got the poison chalice ambition or whatever. I want to learn more about the living room in the library. Right. So maybe living room and Greg?
Sure.
So let's go with Greg and library.
You mean living room or?
Oh, I'm sorry, living room. Did I say that? Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, either way. I want to know who claims to be where, because in the white rooms are where they will claim to start.
Yeah, I didn't know that when we saw the tutorial thing or the playthrough. I thought they could start in the shed.
I didn't know that. I think these 4 white spaces are where they would start. Okay. And so I want to know how many paths are viable between these rooms.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And what do we want? 2 cards worth 3 points. 3 cards worth 6. 2 cards worth 2. 1 random card. We have a lot of 1-pointers, so the 2 cards worth 2 might be duplicate, but I don't think so. We're asking about Greg and living room, and we don't know about either.
1, 2.
Right. So 2 cards with 3 is 1 is 2 and 1 is 1. 3 cards worth 6. That's like a 2-2-2 probably, or a 3-1-2.
Either way, I don't think it'll be any crossover just because...
Right, because we haven't asked about the living room or... So what would you rather do?
It's up to you. I'm not choosing this time.
Wow.
I can't.
Come on.
I was pretty brazen in the first one.
I'm fine with... I want 2 cards worth 3 points. How about that?
That sounds reasonable.
All right. 40 and 67. All right. Okay. So...
No overlap. I can't imagine.
40.
Yeah, there you go.
There's 1. And 67. I think we need to learn which paths are open and which ones are shut.
Absolutely.
So we can start eliminating people.
And we can actually whittle down the weapons.
Yeah.
Knowing that.
Either Greg Gaffney or Mortimer Marlowe might have passed through the kitchen. Okay. So in the kitchen, which is here, we have I'm just going to write a G /M.
And that's a might, though. So I'm putting like a little star there.
I'm going to put like a little question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. And this one is referring to Greg and Mortimer again. The service staff reports that Greg and Mortimer did not pass through the shed.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm just going to put a G and an M with an X, as in, like, they never went in there. Which means that doesn't really help a whole lot. But we know that they never, if they get to the, if one of them were the killer, they could not have come this way.
Yeah.
They had to have gone a different way.
What did that have to do with the living room, though? That's weird.
Well, we asked about Greg, so they gave us 2 Greg cards. We got no information about the living room from that.
Oh, I see.
If we picked a different choice, then maybe we would have gotten something on the living room.
Okay, so it gives you...
It gives you information about either of those 2 things.
Okay.
It could be 1 and 1. It could be both about something.
I see.
So I'm going to hit next. What do we want to learn about? I would say dining room again.
You mean living room?
Fine. Living room.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Living room. We know something about the kitchen. How about the bedroom? Living room and bedroom, just to see if there was a path.
I would say library and bedroom, Oh, well, no, because we didn't have a living room card.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
So what I'd like to do is learn, is it possible for people to go from kitchen to bedroom? Because if not, there's no way for Greg and Mortimer to get to the scene of the crime. Because they didn't go through the shed. Because someone said they didn't. It's possible that if this is blocked, bedroom to kitchen, then there's no other way to get. Actually, no. They could have gone vestibule, trophy room, garage. Okay, so what do you want to do? I mean, we don't know enough right now.
Yeah, we really... we didn't get any information on living room, so I think that's fine.
So living room...
Yeah, living room for sure.
All right. I want to learn more about the pathing, so I think another room is good. Bedroom? Or garage?
Probably bedroom. Bedroom's probably... Well, what about library?
Library.
Just to see who started off there.
As long as we don't have any cards in there, we can ask about them. All right, library and living room. So 3 cards worth 3, 3 cards worth 5, 2 cards worth 3, or 1 random card worth 1 point. The random card can be anything that we didn't ask about. So how do you want?
3 cards worth 5.
That's like a 2-2-1 or 3-1-1. Did any of these cards reference a library, or I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so as long as we can pick pretty much anything.
I would say the most cards for the most expensive.
5 points?
Yeah.
All right. You sure?
I guess. I don't know.
3 cards worth 5. Fine.
Why not?
7, 16, and 200.
There you go. We need some new info. We need some hard-hitting evidence. None of this might BS. They might have... Now, here's a question. This one that says they might have passed through, does that mean that one is guaranteed to pass through, or neither of them?
I don't know.
Okay.
Having never played the game before, I have limits to my answers.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I'd have to read the rulebook again.
That's all right. That's all right.
All right. So for the first card, put that off to the side. Okay. So referring to the library, the housekeeper reports that there was 1 person in the library at the time of the murder. So that means 1 person was at the time of the murder. So library, there's 1. So under guests, I'm putting 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's something regarding the library. Regarding the Berwick sisters' claim that they were in the living room at the time of the murder. So that would be a 2, though, because they count as 2.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm just going to... Well, we don't know yet. That's not a definite. So I'm going to put living room, and I'm going to put BS, I guess. Berwick sisters for BS.
Well, isn't Stanley S?
Well, BS is Berwick sisters.
Just B.
It says BB on here. I guess BB is fine.
BB, yeah. I mean, they're the only Bs.
That's fine. BB's claim. Okay.
I underlined
To be
it
there.
because it's for sure, because the staff said it.
So
it's a...
No, they state no.
Oh.
It says the Berwick sisters claim. The staff didn't say it.
Oh.
So
deceased
they claim to be
claimed.
here. They also claim to be alone.
Yeah.
So if we find out that they weren't alone, they were lying.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later. Lastly,
Interesting.
regarding Claudette Library. Supporting evidence regarding Claudette, motive exposed, fraud. So Claudette has the magnifying glass under exposed fraud.
Okay.
So Claudette, exposed fraud, so magnifying glass is a yes.
Okay.
So that's all we know about that.
That's the horrible one. Sorry.
Yeah, next.
He's like,
We've got 34 points left.
oh boy.
All right. What are we deciding on? The library, there is one guest. If we have no information about the bedroom yet. We have no information about the trophy room or the garage. So do you want to ask about one of these three rooms?
Yeah, probably.
To prevent overlap?
I agree.
All right, so which ones do you want to do?
Probably the trophy. Trophy room's best bet just because it has two viable paths from the origin rooms. And the bedroom just because we know about the kitchen.
Okay. So bedroom and trophy room.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right, we're locking that in. All right, so it's 2 cards worth 4, 3 cards worth 3, 3 cards worth 4, or 1 random card.
It's tough.
3 cards worth 4 is like 1, 1, 2.
Well, we don't have any information on anything, so I don't think it'll overlap.
Correct. So do you want to go with the most cards again?
I don't know. I'm nervous about our points now.
You're the one that blew 9 in the beginning of the game.
8.
Whatever it was.
I think. I don't know. Maybe it was 12.
It was 15.
Maybe.
All right. So 3. I'd say more information is good.
Right.
If we're sure that there's no overlap, we can do more cards.
What's nerve-wracking is that even some of the 2-pointers were crap.
Yeah.
Like, that's really sad.
We might get different 2-pointers. I don't know. What do you think?
It's up to you.
All right. 3 cards worth 4. Here we go. 36, 100, 132. There's our 100.
Oof.
36, was it?
Yeah. So these cards are kind of useless. Dang. It stinks.
Yeah.
I don't like that some of these 2-pointer cards are actually more useless than the 1-pointer cards. It really should be vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh well.
All right. Again, this is just a randomly picked case, so it could be just the cases. I don't know. So we'll start with just whatever.
Okay.
All right. So the service staff reports that none of the guests entered the vestibule from the trophy room, and vice versa.
There you go.
So they never took. So whoever murdered got to the crime scene via the right side of the map, because they couldn't go from vestibule to billiard or vestibule to trophy room.
They still could go to billiard to trophy room.
They could. Yes, they could. They could have started in billiard and gone up, I suppose. Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, at least we got that taken care of.
Yeah.
I'll just put that under service staff. Okay. The next one is the service staff reports that the Berwick sisters and Claudette did not pass through the trophy room. So the trophy room is over here. So I'm going to put B and BB and C with an X, meaning that they could not have they did not pass through that room. So the Berwick sisters claim to be here.
Yeah.
So that stands to reason.
Yeah.
Claudette, we don't know where she is or where she started yet, or what she claims to start. The last piece of evidence is, the service staff reports that none of the guests entered the billiard room from the trophy room. Or vice versa. Right. So whoever started in the billiard room is completely innocent.
Yep.
So there's that.
Now here's the thing. There's only 4 origin rooms and yet there's 6 suspects. So is it possible that nobody's in the billiard room?
It's possible.
Right? Yeah.
2 could have started here, two,
Yeah.
but I doubt it. There's got to be someone. Maybe we ask about the billiard room. The billiard room gave us a 1-point clue, however. If we do ask about the billiard room, we want to make sure that we pick like a 2 and 2, 4 kind of,
I
so we
agree.
don't repeat that clue.
I agree.
Anyway, so we're going to hit next.
Although it's nerve-wracking because the only information that we need in the billiard room is a suspect. So maybe instead of doing a billiard room evidence, because we
Ask
have
about
the cue,
people?
Yeah, ask about people instead of the room.
We could.
Because we have 2 of its roots closed off, and we have the weapon closed off.
Okay.
So we've already eliminated that. But it's up to you.
It's a joint decision. Well, out of all of these people, we know Greg? We have to figure out what clues we got for what people. This is the part that's going to get hard. The more I have information overload on the top. I'm afraid I'm going to start repeating some of these clues because they're not organized very well. Can we organize by room and?
You want to organize by room?
Or how about person? Can we organize by person?
Yeah, I can try that. Billiard. Okay.
Ones that are solely room can be put somewhere else. But
the problem is that there's like multiples.
Multiples, right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just have to try and remember. In that case, we've got 30 points left. So we're not halfway yet, but we're getting there. Maybe we learn more about the crime scene.
Okay.
So we want to learn more about the study. We haven't been in the study yet to ask about that. That might give us more information about weapons or whatnot.
We don't have anything about the study, which is a good thing.
Right. Do we have anything?
Actually, that's a good idea. You ask what we have, and I'll just tell you.
How about? It's possible that they could have gone to the garage. Did we get it? We didn't get any information about the garage, did we?
No. Yes, we got one.
What did it say?
It just said
that
supporting evidence regarding Mortimer motive broken dreams was discovered. That's
a 2-point. Is that garage though?
Yes, that's what it says. Garage in the bottom.
Okay. So if we do pick garage, we have to make sure that we don't pick a 2-point thing.
Yeah.
Because we might repeat it.
Yeah.
Do we want to pick garage and study crime scene?
Sure.
And then we'll just have to try and pick something that is not a 2.
Yes.
That we don't think is a 2.
That's fine.
All right. So I'm going to hit next. 3 cards worth 4, 2 cards worth 5, 3 cards worth 3. 3 cards worth 3 would prevent that 2 from showing up.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, because they're all 1-point cards.
I'm actually okay with that.
All right. So
the ones are actually proving to be
very
quite
helpful.
And I wasn't expecting
All right.
that.
Well, here we go. 3, 52, and 76.
352.
3.
Oh, I'm so excited.
52. All right. And 76. All right.
All right.
Good. All right.
I feel like a sleuth.
All right, interesting. The service staff reports that none of the guests entered the trophy room from the garage and vice versa.
Wow.
So...
Whoever's... Okay. Now, does that mean...
It's kind of useless because no one is going to double back. And we already knew that this...
No, all the roots of the trophy room are cut off now. All of them.
Right, that means that the shotgun, the machete, and the Derringer cannot be
the weapon.
Right. So, shotgun is a firearm, I would think. Yeah, there's the shotgun. The Derringer is also a gun.
Awesome.
And the machete is a blade. So, we'll go that. Alright, so just cross these off. Alright. Next, staff stuffs. Either Angelica or Mortimer might have passed through the garage. Angelica or Mortimer. I'm going to put a question mark to indicate. So we have a possible passing of Mortimer here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He may have gone through the bedroom, possibly went through the garage and got into the study. Maybe. We don't know where Angelica started or where they claim to be. So there's that. And lastly, regarding the garage, the service staff reports that none of the guests entered the bedroom from the garage and vice versa. So no one entered this way, which means the garage...
So does that mean that it made that last card
kind of useless?
Insignificant? Yeah,
I would assume so.
So neither of them actually passed through. So that card was ruled out.
Might have passed. But now we know that the killer either went through the shed or went through the bedroom.
Yeah. From the living room or the library.
Right. So we're focusing over here.
Yeah. So Angelica or Mortimer actually did not pass through that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So next, we're down to 27 points. Still not halfway. What would you like to learn about?
Probably the library. We have yet to have anything on the library.
We didn't get anything on the study again.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going to keep the study as 1.
Oh, we got 1 on the library, which was a 2.
The library was a 2?
The library was a 2.
That was probably the number of guests.
It was motive.
Oh. Well, we got a 1 here, so we got a library from... probably the wait staff. The wait staff told us...
Oh, yeah, right here. Library.
What did that say?
It said that there was 1 person in the library at the time of the murder.
So, if we do pick library, we want to make sure that it's like a bunch of 1-point cards.
Yeah, or 3, because there's no...
Right, but there's no way to know that, honestly.
Yeah.
So, do you want library again?
Sure.
And then we'll roll the dice on what's offered.
Well, hold on. What's the second one?
I went study, which we know nothing about, and library.
What about the shed?
We know that Greg and Mortimer didn't pass through it, but nothing else.
We only have 1 card on the shed. Yeah, we only have 1 card in the shed.
And what's the value of that card?
Hold on, I'm checking to see if there's any more. The shed is only a 2. It's a 2.
So either way, it's either library 2 points or shed 2 points.
Well, we got 1 card worth 2 points of the shed. We got 2 cards of the library worth 2.
Okay, so that's less of a chance of overlap with the shed, is what you're saying?
Although it'd be nice to find out who's the origin.
So if we do pick library, we just have to make sure we don't pick any 2-point possibilities. We have to make sure they're all 1-point cards.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. 3 cards worth 5. 3 cards worth 9. They're all 3 points.
Ooh, nice.
2 cards worth 5. One of them would be a 2. So we can blow 9 points on 3 cards worth 3.
On the library and the shed, that was the... No, study and the library?
Study and library. Study and library.
We have no 3s for the library or the study. I think that's good.
All right, 9 points it is. Mm-hmm. Here we go. 54. 54. 72. And 163.
Interesting. Nerve-wracking. Come on, give us good stuff.
It's for 3 points each. They better be good.
They better be good. Police.
Right. The study. After examining the body, the bladed weapon was not used to murder Mr. Walton.
No bladed weapons.
So no bladed weapons. So I'm going to X, X, X. And so kitchen knife was not it. Letter opener in bedroom is here. And machete in the... we already knew that. Saber in the vestibule. So no murder weapon there. All right, next. Study. Did not find signs of a fight. Okay. So fighting is the arrows pointing back. And so no shotgun. No pillow from the bedroom. Sorry. No pillow. No curtain cord from the library. So bedroom, no pillow. And no curtain in the library. So no curtain cord there. Did I miss another one? I only saw 3. The
Shot-
saber was already ruled out.
Yeah, and so was the shotgun.
Yeah, so only 2 information there that was important. And then lastly, no evidence of an oily substance.
Oh.
So all stuff regarding weapons.
Oils.
So oily substances are the little squiggly. So wrench garage is out.
Don't get it confused with strong odors, because that's what I was getting it confused with.
Yeah, it's a squiggly up and down. We already ruled out frying pan kitchen. Next is... Nope. Antifreeze in the garage.
Mm-hmm. And poisonous plant bedroom.
Yes. Where do you see that?
Poisonous plant.
Oh, down there. Okay. I'm old.
You're fine.
Poisonous plant in the bedroom. So we have the possible weapons. We've got shovel, pesticide, and rope pesticle, rat, poison, and a revolver. Okay. Shut up. I can't read.
I'm sorry.
Text is small.
This is why do you think I wanted an extra sheet?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
All right, so we're down to 18 points.
Ooh. All right.
But we narrowed a lot of the weapons down at least. I think that was necessary. I think now we need to start pulling some 1-point cards to get more information.
Man,
the problem is we don't know where anyone is. We have no information about who's where.
We can probably decipher that Stanley was in the library.
How do you figure?
They said there's only one guest, right? The service staff said there was only one guest.
Yeah, but why not anyone?
Stanley claims to be alone.
If he's in it, but he could be lying.
He could be lying, but I'm just saying, he could possibly be in the library. I don't know. It's just a possibility. These two are probably telling the truth because she claims to be alone in the living room. The Berwick sisters. I don't know. All right, what's next?
What do we know about the billiard room?
That nobody went in or out.
What point cards do we have on the billiard room?
Oh.
Are you able to see that? The Q was 1 point. If we can figure out who was in the billiard room, then we can eliminate them completely.
All right, there's one card for the billiard room, which is a 1-pointer. I think that's it, actually. Do you want to?
Didn't we get cards saying that no in or out of the billiard?
Oh.
So the service staff would have been in there too.
Yes, and that is another one. Two 1-pointers.
So they're all one. So all of this information is 1-point cards. So if we do a billiard room inquiry, we want to make sure it's a 2 or a 3.
Yes.
The question is, do we want to blow that many points on the off chance we might learn where someone might have been?
Okay.
I'm asking, or do we ask about people in general? We haven't asked a whole lot of information about these guys.
People, yeah.
Right.
They could tell us where they were.
Right. So if you were to pick someone to investigate, what do we know?
Greg. We don't know a lot about Greg at all.
As far as Greg's information, we know that I have them marked here GM and GM.
Oh yeah.
So what
true.
point cards do we have of the GM?
On Greg?
Greg and Mortimer were listed twice on this. So that means they were, I think it was the service staff. So look at the service staff cards. I think they might have been 1-pointers telling us that Greg and Mortimer might have been in the kitchen and they were not in the shed.
Okay. A 2-pointer with Greg.
A 2-pointer with Greg.
2-pointer, which is this one.
Okay.
And that is it.
Oh, maybe there's got to be another one. Oh, maybe the shed?
Right here. A 1-pointer with Greg, which is the mite. Sorry.
No. So what do you want to do? Ask about Greg and hope that it's different information?
So we have a 1 and a 2 on Greg.
We need to start asking about people.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
All right. So we'll pick 2 people and hope for the best.
Okay. Greg and probably the least amount of information that we have.
We don't have Stanley's location.
We don't.
We don't have really anyone's.
Stanley. We don't have a lot on Stanley, actually. Oh, we have a 3-pointer on Stanley. Yeah. We have a 1-pointer on Stanley. A 3-pointer on oh no, that's a study. Excuse me.
Maybe we don't ask about Stanley then.
Hold on. Okay, so we have a 1 and a 3-pointer on Stanley. That's it. So a 1.
If we ask about Stanley, then we want 2-point cards.
Yeah, and if we ask about Greg, we want anything but 2-pointer cards.
All right. Let's pick someone else other than Stanley then, and go for 1-point cards. Yeah. What about the? What about Claudette?
Ooh, we have a lot on Claudette actually. We have a 3-pointer on Claudette, a 2-pointer on Claudette.
Oh, any 1-pointers?
I'm looking. On Claudette, we have another 2-pointer on Claudette. Gosh, these fonts are so hard to read. Yeah. And that's it. We don't have any 1-pointers.
All right, so how about Greg and Claudette with 1-point cards?
Oh, we have one 1-pointer on Claudette.
We'll just have to chance it.
Jeez. Okay.
Unless you want a different person.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, so Greg and Claudette going for 1-point cards. 2 cards worth 3.
Okay.
2 cards worth 5. 1 random card, or 3 cards worth 7, which is like a 3-3-1 or 1-2-3. No, it would be 3-3-1. Yeah, 3-2-2. 2 cards worth 3 might be the safer route.
Yeah, I agree actually.
All right, let's go for smaller this time. 67 and 136. Hopefully there's no overlap there.
Okay.
67 is gone already. Mm-hmm. So it's overlap.
Wow, that stinks.
And 136. I don't think we're going to solve this. There's 136.
Ah, we got this.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. Greg Gaffney claims that he was alone at the time of the murder.
Ooh.
It's a 1-point card.
So Greg claims he was alone. Huh.
It's a lot of alone.
I mean, they don't have accomplices. It's in the easy.
Right. One of these 3 can be lying. That's it. That's all we got. 3 points for that little thing, which doesn't help us at all.
What stinks is that, can you imagine if they're all telling the truth, they were all alone, and then 2 people were in the 4th room? Mm-hmm. That would stink. That would be kind of a waste. Now, if he was alone, he could also start in the library, assuming he's telling the truth.
Do we learn more about Mortimer? Although, no.
We don't have a lot of them, do we?
All we know is that Greg or Mortimer might have passed through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do we learn...
We have 2 points on Mortimer here. We have 2 1s here for him.
Any other Mortimer information?
Yeah, we have a 3 here for him.
We
have... that's rough.
We need to figure out what we don't have and go for that. Like...
Oh, we have a 2 here. Yeah, we have a lot on Mortimer, actually.
I don't want to ask about Mortimer then if there's high risk of overlap.
3, 1... You know what? I should have done this from the beginning.
What? Write down the values of the data?
Yeah.
It's fine. This being a learning game.
That's alright.
So, how about we ask about the billiard room?
Mm-hmm.
What were the value of the cards of the billiard room?
The billiard room. That would be...
If we can get a cheap 1-point card that tells us that someone was in there.
We have a 1-pointer on the billiard room.
That's it.
And another 1-pointer on the billiard room. And another 1-pointer on the billiard room.
Okay.
So, we would have to get an expensive one for the billiard room.
Of course we would. With only 15 points left.
I mean, it could help. Well, no, because...
We don't have a crime... We could use more crime scene stuff. Did we get anything on crime scenes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. I thought we did.
All the weapon stuff? The police stuff?
Yeah. Let me see.
Or no?
Crime scene. It would say study crime scene, right?
I would imagine.
It would be over here.
Well, all those weapons that we learned about, where are those cards at?
They're right here. They're all like kitchen and billiard. Trophy garage. Trophy room. Library. I don't see any crime scenes, actually.
So, maybe...
Oh, the studies. I'm sorry.
Okay, so...
Study crime scene.
These are all 3-point cards.
Yes.
So, we can ask about the study and make sure that they're a low-point card.
Now, here's the problem. What are the studies going to give us? Like, passing?
I'm hoping that there's a pass-through, like, no pass-through bedroom and crime scene. That would limit how many people could have gone through the shed, right?
True, but we don't know where.
We know that Greg or Mortimer did not pass through. Oh, Greg and Mortimer did not pass through the shed.
Yeah.
That would eliminate. If it turns out that the bedroom was not the path, then we can rule out Greg and Mortimer as suspects because they did not pass through the shed.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was thinking crime scene low point card.
But they still could have passed.
There's no other way.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So if we need to eliminate one of these two paths, and if we eliminate the right one, we can narrow down who went that way.
So 1 pointer on the study? Is that what
I'm
you're thinking?
thinking a 1 pointer on the study, but I'm open to suggestions on what else.
I feel like...
We also need to know the starting locations of these people.
Yeah, I know. And that's...
Or more information about, like, the library. We had how many point cards? Do you have any 1 or 2 point cards in the library?
For the library, it would be 2. We have 2 2s on the library.
All right, so if we can get a bunch of 1-pointers on the library.
All right, we can
like
do that.
with the crime scene. All right, so we're going to shoot for 1-pointers, library, and crime scene.
Okay.
So library. All right, here we go. 2 cards worth 4, 2 cards worth 3, 3 cards worth 3. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we want. 3 cards worth 3. Those are all 1-point cards, right?
3, yeah, actually.
All right. So 81. 81. Mm-hmm. 210 and 222. 210 and 222. Okay. 3 points, 3 cards. That's making me happy. Mm-hmm. Wait staff. The service reports that none of the guests entered the library from the shed.
Oh,
none of the guests went from library to shed. They still could have gone living room to shed, but they...
Does it say vice versa as well?
And vice versa, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's one. Okay. Next is Mortimer claims that he was alone. Oh, he was in the library at the time of the murder.
Really? Okay.
So I'll put M claims to be there. He still could have gone living room, kitchen, and then up. So there's Mortimer. I don't know where you have your Mortimer cards.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'll organize them later.
The service staff reports that none of the guests entered the living room from the library, and vice versa. The living room, so no one went from living room to library, and vice versa. So whoever's in the library is innocent.
That is a possibility of Mortimer.
So Mortimer is more than likely telling the truth that there was one person in there, and yeah.
Unless he's lying.
Yeah. But for 3 points, we got some decent information. Mm-hmm. Okay. We still didn't get anything about the study. So I say we keep pushing that study, and possibly getting more 1 point. Is there any other location, like the kitchen, for example, that has any 1 point cards?
Kitchen. All right. The kitchen has.
She's my little secretary over there.
Sorry, the kitchen has.
No, look at this mess. I'm zooming out. That is our mess.
I'm writing down things.
Uh-huh.
The kitchen has a 1 pointer here. And this is actually fun. I love doing this kind of thing.
What about the bedroom? Any 1 point cards of the bedroom?
The bedroom. We have a 1 pointer in the kitchen. So that means we have 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea then.
The bedroom, I don't see anything on the bedroom actually.
We know the weapons. These weapons here are crossed out. So there's something about the...
Not that I could find. Unless that was like a...
It was a weapons thing? Oh, so maybe it didn't pertain? I don't know if there are...
in the bedroom.
Yeah, all right. Do you want to do bedroom just to have it?
Yeah, that's
maybe it'll tell us that no staff or no one entered. So bedroom and crime scene, and we'll see what we get from that.
Interesting.
3 cards worth 3.
Oh, there's 1 bedroom.
It's fine. 3 cards worth 3. 3 cards worth 6. 3 cards worth 7 or 1. I say 3 cards worth 3.
Is this bedroom and kitchen or just bedroom?
Bedroom and study.
And study. Ooh, okay. We have a lot of studies on 3s, but we have...
Right, that's why I went with the 1 point stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 3 points, 3 cards worth 3 again.
All right.
There's a good chance that only one will overlap.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, here we go. 76, 168, and 218. 76 is gone. Probably the one that you just pointed out.
Yeah, it was actually.
All right. Sorry, that's 150s. But hey, 2 cards for 3 isn't bad. 168.
Okay.
And 218.
We should not have that one, hopefully.
Nope.
Awesome.
So 2 cards, not bad. Okay.
Oh, this is so much fun.
The revolver was not the murder weapon, which we're...
Oh, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
Oh, so it's not the bedroom.
So,
not the bedroom weapon.
Meaning, if someone passed through the bedroom, they didn't pick up the weapon there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something. Lastly, the poisonous plant was not the murder weapon, but we already knew that because of the whole smell thing.
Poisonous plant. Wait,
it was
poisonous plant?
In the bedroom.
Yeah.
We already knew that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the only possible path is going to be from the vestibule or the living room, definitely through the kitchen.
Well, no. They could still go through the shed.
No, they can't. Oh, maybe.
They could go from living room to kitchen to shed, but Greg and Mortimer couldn't have done that.
But if it were them, or one of them, they could still go through the kitchen, through the bedroom.
If rat poison is not the murder weapon, then they picked up something from the living room or from the shed.
Or from the shed. And if it was that case, then it couldn't have been Mortimer or Greg, because the murder weapon could not have been the rat poison if they did that. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, they could have gone to the left.
Oh, yeah.
They could have gone living room, kitchen, bedroom. But if it turns out that rat poison is not it, because someone would have to have gone from living room... The only way... If rat poison is not it, okay, that means the murderer would have to start from vestibule, which doesn't have a murder weapon, or living room, which does have a murder weapon.
The blunderbuss.
The library, which does not... the library is good. So it's either going to be the blunderbuss, the rat poison, or the shovel, pesticide, or rope.
Yeah.
That's going to be the...
I'm nervous about doing another study crime scene because I feel like it's just going to give us more weapons. And what if it rules out these weapons that we already know are not the case?
Yeah.
Like the leather strap, shotgun, machete.
So we've got 9 points left. What do we do?
I say we ask about people, probably.
Okay.
Because we don't even know the motive.
We need to plan carefully.
Yeah, no.
So we need to find 2 people to ask about that have...
I think... I feel like Greg or Stanley or Mortimer is lying. Well, hold on.
Mortimer...
If Mortimer claimed he was in the library, right? Check this out.
It's possible Greg...
But look. If he claims he was in the library, Mortimer, right? And someone saw Greg or Mortimer passing through the kitchen, might have.
Then we know he was lying.
We know he was lying.
The library should...
I feel like we don't need to know about the library because all the routes there are locked off. I'm inclined to say that Mortimer's telling the truth because he is alone. He
claims to be there. Doesn't mean he was. What if we find out someone else was there in the library?
True. But that's when I think that we should probably ask about the people instead of the library. Because maybe they give us another information, whereas the library couldn't give us any other
information. So who do you want to ask then?
Gosh, I don't even know.
The sisters already claimed they were alone. So I say we ask someone who we don't have any location on. Claudette is
probably.
one.
Yeah.
And Greg is another. So Claudette and Greg, do we know what point cards we've used of theirs or found of theirs yet?
All right. So,
Good luck with that.
Oh no, I got this. Don't worry. I love this stuff. This is my favorite part of the game, actually. So Claudette, we have a 2-pointer.
Okay.
For sure. And if I can read this font, we have a 1-pointer on Greg. We have a 3-pointer on Claudette. We have a 1-pointer on Claudette and a 2-pointer on Claudette. So these are...
Claudette seems like the wrong person to ask.
Yeah. We have all of this on Claudette. 3, 1, 2, 2. Greg, we have a 1. So we had another Greg. I think that's it for Greg.
So no 2s for Greg.
No 2s for Greg.
Is there another character that we do not have a 2 on? Stanley?
Oh, wait, no. We have a 2 on Greg. There it is. Stanley, we have... I think we also have a bit on Stanley, actually.
Yeah, I think you mentioned we had a bunch. Oh, this hurts.
Yeah. Well, here's what I can do. Hold on. So, Greg, we have a 1 and a 2, right?
I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see what she's doing.
No, it's fine. Don't show. That's embarrassing. We have... we have a 3, 1, 2, 2 on a Claudette. 3, 1, 2, 2. And with Greg, we only have a 1 and a 2. With Stanley, we have... I don't even need to write their whole names, but I do anyways. We have a 3 and a 1 on Stanley, and I think that's it. Yeah, 3 and a 1 on Stanley. Mortimer, we have quite a bit on.
I'm just trying to avoid repeat cards.
Yeah, me too.
With only 9 points left.
Oh, it's rough. Okay, so we have a lot on Claudette. We have a lot on Mortimer. We have Greg, 1 and 2, Stanley, 3 and 1. Do you want to just ask about... What about Berwick sisters and Angelica? What do you think?
What do the Berwick sisters have? They've already claimed they were alone in the living room. So they have what point cards do they have? Is it a 1
They
or
have a 1.
Okay. I'm trying to get 1-point cards because we only have a whole lot of time left. Which
They have 2 1s actually.
So on your list, which of these only have high numbers?
None. I mean, Stanley has a 3 and a 1. That's...
So maybe Stanley.
Maybe Stanley, but 3 and a 1. That's what he has. Greg is a 1 and a 2. Stanley at least has a 3 and a 1. I would say probably Stanley, but yeah, probably Stanley then. If that's
We don't even have a motive yet either.
No, we don't have anything.
How are we supposed to do this on easy?
I think...
Did we waste too much?
I think we focused too much on rooms when we should have actually let them tell us what rooms they were in first.
Maybe.
You know?
That might be something to think about.
Yeah. All right, so Stanley
and...
Maybe the...
I'll let you pick.
Maybe the sisters. They could be lying.
Stanley and the sisters. All right, 2 cards worth 3. 2 cards worth 2. So they're both 1 point.
Oh, shoot. Wait. The Berwick sisters have 3. But you can't go back, right?
I can.
Can you? Okay.
Oh, no. It says, do I want to leave the case?
No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever.
2 cards worth 2. 2 cards worth 5. 2 cards worth 3. So it's either a 1 or 2 and a 1 or a 1 and a 1.
1 or 2 or 1 and 1.
I say the 1 and 1.
I say 1 or 2 because we have no 2s on Stanley or the sisters.
All right. Fine, we'll go 2 and... So 1 and a 2.
1 and 2.
All right, here we go. 36 and 176. I don't know which of those we have.
36 and what?
36. All right, that's gone. 176. Probably overlap on all fronts, but we'll see. Okay, 176. Hopefully this is a good card. We'll find out. This is a 1-point card. Wow. Stanley Smythe's motive, fraternity hazing, was not the motive. Not very helpful.
And that was a 1-pointer?
A 1-pointer.
I don't like these 1-pointers, man. I don't like any of these cards. We need... I feel like we would need high cards, but we just don't have the points.
We have 6 points left.
All right, let's get some big hitters.
Wow.
Let's end the game on a high note.
I feel like we need a lot more information than what we have at this point.
We need to get information on Greg, man.
The problem is we don't know where anyone is. Or
Greg, he doesn't have any 3-point cards.
Fine. Let's get this done.
Get it done.
So my battery life. Yeah, Greg. And what else?
Oh, we have to pick one? Shoot.
Well, there's 2. Greg and what else?
Greg and Greg? All right.
Can we do that? Apparently we can.
Yeah, Greg and Greg. Might as well. He has no 3-pointers on here.
You cannot choose the same reference twice.
Oh, fudge.
I tried.
All right, it's okay. Greg and... Oh, man. The vestibule, we have a 1. I'd love it.
What about the kitchen? Do we have any 3-point kitchen cards?
We have a 1-point kitchen. We have... Stanley... You said 3-point kitchen cards?
Yeah. Because if we don't, we can do Greg and kitchen and hope for a 3-pointer.
We do not have any 3-point kitchen cards.
All right, let's go for it. We're going to try and... If we can roll out... this is awful.
Oh, no.
I feel like This is uneasy.
It's okay.
I feel like we messed up somewhere.
We did. I think we asked too much about pathing.
3 cards worth 6. 2 cards worth 3. So we can just spend all of our points, get 2 more cards, and that'll be it.
I say go with the 3s. Just because we have a 1 and 2 for Greg, and we have a 1 in the kitchen. And
Fine. Here we go. This is it. Last turn of the game.
That's fine. We'll get it. We'll guess.
51, 58, and 239. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I guess it's too late. Did I misinterpret that? Those are 2-pointers.
Oh, those 2 points are okay.
We got 51.
That's all right.
58.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll learn something.
What's the other one?
239. Yeah, we got all 3.
Yeah, okay. Good choice. Good mistake.
Well, we'll have to...
Good mistake.
All right. Claudette or Greg may have passed through the bedroom.
Okay.
Claudette or Greg
Maybe it was Greg.
may have passed through the bedroom.
Could have been Greg.
Question mark. Next, the service staff reports that Angelica and Stanley did not pass through the kitchen.
Okay.
So A and S. And so that rules them out. Because the kitchen is the only way to get to the crime scene. Because you can't go through
the shed too.
Right, but they started in living room. Or if they started in vestibule or living room, right?
Yeah.
And we ruled this out, there's no other way to get up here.
Yeah, the shed. They could have still gone through the shed.
No, they had to go through the kitchen to get to the shed.
Oh,
The card
right.
just said that they did not pass.
Through the
So
kitchen.
Angelica is innocent.
And so is Stanley.
And so-
what did the card say?
And Stanley. So we've got 2 innocents.
Okay.
Now, knowing that,
There we go.
Stanley claims to be alone.
So he's
So-
telling the truth.
Yeah, I just don't know where alone is. But anyway, moving on.
He was probably in the billiard room.
The police report that none of the motives were payback for Claudette. So wait a minute. So no, none of the unforeseen business for Claudette.
What? For what? Oh, the swirly thing?
Yeah, the 2 arrows.
Okay.
Greg, so no stolen recipe.
Okay.
And Mortimer, pirated idea.
Okay.
But that's it.
I think Mortimer's innocent.
So
Is that it, really?
that's it.
I think it's Greg. I'm going with Greg with the blunderbuss. Actually, no, because she claimed she was in the living room.
If it were Greg could not have passed. It has to be rat. If it is Greg, the only possible murder weapon is rat poison because he did not go through the shed.
Unless it's the blunderbuss. But the Berwick sisters claimed that they were alone and in the living room.
He still could have passed through it. They say they were there at the time of the murder.
Yeah.
The murderer could have still...
He still could have had the blunderbuss. That's the problem.
Unless he went from the vestibule to the living room to the kitchen. So it's either rat poison or the blunderbuss.
I'm just going with rat poison. Now the motive.
Alright, so I'll hit solve, and we're going to be wrong probably, but So we're thinking it's Greg.
With
either fixed fights or animal cruelty.
I'm gonna say, for me personally, I'm gonna say animal cruelty because it just fits the theme of rat poison.
Sure. So we're gonna go with rat poison then.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. What would you
I have no clue.
Okay.
I mean, Greg or Mortimer may have passed through the kitchen. So that means, and Greg may have passed through bedrooms. So it's very possible.
That's why
Greg has the most information about possibly going here. As far as like his motive, it's a 50-50 shot. And as far as the weapon, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the blunderbuss here or the rat poison there.
Yeah.
So
Greg,
animal cruelty, and rat poison.
Animal cruelty. Rat poison, accomplice, no. All right, I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
We're probably going to get this wrong, but...
Nah, we got this.
Let's check your solution. You think the murderer was Greg Gaffney with the rat poison motivated by animal cruelty. Is this right?
Yeah.
Yes. You solved it! Great job! That was so lucky.
It was all because of my skills.
Yes.
So my note didn't
Wow. How did we pull that out of our butts?
You can't go wrong with theme.
We went
thematic.
with our probability. It was the probability. The fact that Greg was possibly seen here and here, right? And so...
You know what really sealed it in? That mistake. That mistake of hitting that number and giving us those final 2 cards. That was the greatest mistake in history.
Thank you. That was uneasy. I feel like the world's worst detective.
I want to play this again and again and again. This is so fun. I love the note taking. I love that you can actually count. I wish I had done that in the beginning. Oh, that was fun.
Look at this mess. The cleanup is... I'm not looking forward to cleanup.
I really am. I love the organizing and stuff. Are you going to play this again?
Yes, absolutely.
With verses this time?
Well, not tonight.
Oh.
It is getting late.
All right.
But yes, we can do... Versus is going to be slightly different. There's going to be hidden information on both sides. It's going to be harder to do on... Especially because we're sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult to hide our stuffs.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the whole... I mean, I guess, like, the trading cards, you would have to kind of be like the AI, you know? Like, you would have to treat the other person as the AI, saying, all right, maybe I'll have 2 cards for 3 points, or 3 cards for 6 points, or whatever, maybe. I don't know.
You'd have to... Well, here, the nice thing about 2 players is that, again, the cards are played face down. Or not face down, but they're... Whenever you trade cards, you look at them and then you put them in the discard pile.
Yeah.
That way there's no fear of repetition. Mm-hmm. However, there is the fear that you might get duplicate information or stuff that you...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through another card. I don't know how that's going to play out because we've never done the 2-player version. But yeah, we can...
I'm curious.
If you're interested, we can do a 2-player one.
So excited we got that. Our first...
That was blind luck.
What would you have picked, honestly?
No, well, here's the thing. The game gave us that Greg did not go through the shed.
Yeah.
And it also gave us that Greg may have been seen in the bedroom and kitchen. Mm-hmm. He claims he was alone. Mm-hmm. Mortimer claims he was alone here.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't pass through here or here means that Greg or Mortimer was seen here. It couldn't have been Mortimer that was seen.
Yeah.
So Greg had to have been, might have been seen there. So there was a stronger possibility that Greg was the murderer, in my opinion.
It's just so nerve-wracking that they could lie, you know?
I would love to see where everyone else is. I don't think it's possible.
Oh, that would have been nice.
See solution? Yes. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't actually tell us...
Well, if we picked cards, like, if we just kept picking cards...
It's not letting us.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you could pick the same case ID off camera.
And we could ask just ask about Angelica and the rest of them to see where they were.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean? That's a possibility.
That's interesting.
But I had a good suspicion about Greg knowing this and this and this. The weapon was a 50-50, like I said. However, there's a stronger possibility of him picking up rat poison. What if he started in the living room?
Yeah.
He would not have picked up the blunderbuss in that case. Or no, he would have.
No, he still would have.
Yeah. So it was a 50-50 shot either way.
Mm-hmm. And then
that was dumb luck. And then the animal cruelty, that was all you. That was also a 50-50 dumb luck kind of thing.
Yeah, that was tough. It would have been like closing your eyes and trying to pick.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
I feel like 50 points wasn't enough.
Really?
Yeah, I wish there was a way to modify the difficulty to make it easier. Just for giggles, I want to see load case solitary. We didn't write down the case ID, did we?
No.
All right, I'm just going to do a random case solitary and I want to see beginner. I want to see if we get more points on beginner. 70 points.
Oh, wow.
And it gives us 6 cards.
Oh,
I'm going to go back and forget I saw any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like on the beginner difficulty, you get 70. I'm going to assume that the next step up is 60 and then easy is 50.
And then normal is probably like 10.
Well, we can check real quick. But there's an accomplice, so it makes it harder.
It's true.
So random case, if I do medium... it's 90 points.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of points.
And I'm just, out of curiosity, I also want to see what, there's beginner, very easy. Very easy is 60 as I predicted. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to difficulty.
What's the hardest? I'm just
kidding. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Perfect crime. 75 points is what you have.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. I want to do it in all difficulties.
So 50 I felt was not enough, even on easy. So we may have to go a step down if we want. If you want to truly figure out where everyone is, then we're gonna play it on. We have to play it on beginner or very easy.
The only gripe that I have is that some one-pointer cards are bad, while other one-pointer cards are really, really, really good. And
you're rolling a die to see what you get.
I don't like that because you're spending points not knowing whether it's bad or good, when you should spend more points for something that should be guaranteed really good, you know? But when you spend more points just for a chance of it being good, that's awful.
Yeah.
So that's the only gripe, but I love this game.
This is probably bar none one of my favorite deduction games I've ever played.
I was really skeptical because we were watching those YouTube videos of people playing this saying, oh, this is a great game, greatest game. And I was like, yeah, it seems like a really fun game. I'm really excited to play it, but what if I set my expectations too high? And it turned out to be great, like actually great, as everyone says.
It's got that alchemy level of deduction, but it doesn't have the complication of Alchemists. The board game Alchemists with the app, and you're trying to figure out the pluses, minuses, and the colors, and all. Like I miss that. I know you miss it. I mean, we'll get back to it when I refigure out the rules again. But I feel like this is a nice compromise. I would love to set this up on a stream, and I already have it done in PowerPoint and the like. But I could do a very easy or a beginner on stream, and we can just have fun with it. That would be so much. That would be so cool.
I feel like this is just as complicated. Only because there's so much bluffing that they could do. There's so much lying that they could do that it could make it turn complicated. You know? And when you have information overload like this. This is my favorite part of the game. I loved this. Oh, it felt good.
Well, there you go. You're going to sleep good tonight.
Yes.
All right. So there you go, folks. That was Awkward Guess. That gets a thumbs up from the both of us. Yeah. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to us on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vincent Idoli. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, guys.